everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to mix bass DI and amp recordings. Now the reason you would record bass DI as well as an amp is for this reason exactly, which I'm going to show you in this video, is so you can merge the two together and get the best out of both worlds and mix them together to make a great bass sound. So this video might be a little bit shorter than my last Logic video because I'm only just going to show you this one trick, but it's a very good trick. Well, not really a trick, it's a technique you can use to create a really good bass sound, and it gives you a lot of freedom as well to sort of experiment with different effects as well without affecting the sound of the low end, which I will explain a bit later in the video. Okay, so here we are in Logic. These are the drums which I showed you how to EQ in my last Logic video. So I've got the bass here, I've got bass DI and bass amp recording. Now what I'm going to show you is how to EQ these two to blend them together instead of just having them both together. You can sort of EQ them to shape them and fit them together like puzzle pieces, literally like puzzle pieces, as I'll show you. You'll see what I mean. Now the reason you do this is because the bass DI, because you're plugging the bass straight into an audio interface or the console, it creates a really nice clear low end, but it sacrifices the character of the tone in the high end, whereas the amp, the low end can be a bit uneven since you're recording from an amp, but you have all the character in the high end and mids. So you can use EQ on these two to use the best parts of each and fit them together. Let me show you. So here I'm going to take this bass DI. I'm just going to use the normal Logic EQ because that's all you need for this thing. So what we need to do on the bass DI, since the best part of the DI is the low end, nice even and clear low end, because that's the best part, that's the part we want to keep. And what we're going to do is take this high pass filter here and just drag it until the low end disappears. So it's around 200 where the bass frequencies end, really. So I'm using this to find where to cut. So now I've done that, I'm going to take this low pass filter and drag it to the same place. So there you go, those are all the bass frequencies, that's the nice bass from the DI. Now if we take the amp, and basically you just do the inverse of this. So let's go on to the EQ for the bass amp, take this, and actually let's keep this one open so we know where we're cutting to. So it was around 250. So then if we take this, this high pass filter, and sort of drag it to the same area. Okay, so now we have a mirror image pretty much. So we're taking the nice even bass frequencies from the DI, and then we're taking everything else above that from the amp, which has all the character, and it keeps that sound of a recorded bass amp, which is what most people would like. But let's just make sure you have that nice even low end. So let's hear actually what they sound like together. So we got this bass amp and the DI, which is just pure bass, and then we add them together. And what's good about this as well is that you can now adjust the levels between them. So if you want less high end, you can just take this bass amp and just lower it down like a sort of tone knob. And if you want more, you can do that and have more. So it gives you a little bit more freedom to edit the tone and change and add effects without affecting the low end. You can keep that solid. Like I think on another song that I've done, I did this and then I added some sort of fuzz effect onto the bass amp, which is great because it means you have that fuzz, but you can keep that low end. So you could go into the pedal board on Logic, but you could take like any sort of plugin. You could take this drive. And you still have the low end in there, but you can experiment with the effects and the tone of the bass without changing the low end. So yeah, it's just a nice technique to blend the two together to get the best out of both, and it just means you can then play around with the sound more and the tone without affecting the low end too much. And yeah, let's have a listen with the drums, see what they sound like. That's without the amp. That's with the amp. Without the DI. No bass. And obviously the drums and bass aren't mixed together properly, but I can leave that for another video on how to mix the bass and drums together. But yeah, that's a little short video on the technique of how to mix the bass DI and amp recordings. If you enjoyed this video or learned anything, then please give it a like. If there are any other videos that you would like me to do on Logic, any other things you'd like me to show you, please leave them down in the comments. And also subscribe if you like what you see. Look forward to videos in the future, and yeah, see you later.